I wanted to ask you about Arsenal, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's been a huge week for Arsenal. They're on the verge of landing Urian Timber as their next summer signing. The the Declan Rice deal is done. So first of all, I want to ask you about the Declan Rice deal because you were someone that said they weren't serious. You didn't believe that they would get it done. I think you were very skeptical as to whether or not they would pay the money that was required. But they broke the British transfer record, 105 million. They're about to land Urian Timber. I know you don't rate Kai Havertz, but he's one of their targets. They've done 200 million pounds. Talk to me about the Gooners.
Finally, they've shown what I said they should shown 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the show. I said Arsenal Football Club need to be serious. Arsenal Football Club can't be signing no random guys. People were upset at me in the comment section because I said they need to sign Rice, not Lavia. And people were like, oh, we trust Arteta. Okay, I'm glad you trust Arteta. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. So, you see, Declan Rice is someone who definitely elevates Arsenal's midfield. I agree with the statement that Terry said. At minimum, he's probably top 3 players at Arsenal as soon as he comes in. So it's either Saka, Odegaard, and him. I'd say are probably the best 3 players. So I think Arsenal need Declan Rice a lot more than City need Declan Rice. So I think Declan Rice is definitely someone who could take Arsenal's midfield to the next level. You play him alongside a midfielder who's good defensively. You've got Odegaard ahead of them. That's an unbelievable midfield right there. Jurian Timber is an unbelievably underrated, incredible signing as well, because you look at Jurian Timber and you're like, okay, so the time that Rob Holding has had for Arsenal this season wasn't as good. So like, when they had to play Rob Holding, they kind of had a drop-off period. They didn't play as well. Defensively, they weren't solid. Timber offers you that now. And Timber can invert from the right-hand side. And Timber can invert into midfield because he's such an unbelievable football player. So with Jurian Timber, I think he's definitely someone who's an unbelievable centre-back. Unbelievable centre-back at that price tag for Arsenal Football Club. I think just last year, Ten Hag wanted him before he wanted Lisandro as well, which shows you like, okay, Timber's like serious. So I think Rice and Timber both are very, 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 very good signings. I think both these signings are going to be unbelievable for Arsenal Football Club. And I think I could genuinely see Declan Rice becoming Arsenal captain in these next 2, 3, 4 years. I think he could definitely be someone who could become the captain of the football club. But this is where I cannot agree with everything Arsenal do blindly. I'm not an Arsenal fan. Kai Havertz will flop at Arsenal. I said it. I love this whole tacticals and all this coming out and saying he's gonna play the Xhaka role and blah blah blah. Only thing he has a similarity with Xhaka is that they're left-footed and tall. There is no other similarity with Xhaka and Havertz. Havertz is not a midfielder. If you play Havertz in midfield defensively, you've absolutely killed yourself. Zinchenko and Havertz on that left-hand side. Do you understand what a striker like or a forward or a inside forward or a winger like a Salah or just someone with a bit of P&P would do to that side? That side is going to be just absolutely shredded. So I like 2 out of the 3 signings. I think 2 out of the 3 signings are unbelievable. And I think the Rice signing for me is the one that's just going to elevate Arsenal Football Club above and beyond. But we'll see. I think they need one more piece. One more piece, dependent on who goes. Because you see, if they keep Partey, now this whole thing is like, now that midfield, like Rice, Partey, and Odegaard, that's a midfield and a half right there. That's an unbelievable midfield. If they sell Partey, then they do need a little bit of a replacement. That's the thing. So I think they sell Partey. Now you probably need a little bit of a Partey replacement. There was a guy who kind of broke down all the Arsenal departures as well. I can't lie. They're probably going to sell maybe around 120, 130, 140 million worth of players too. So they've got a lot to sell too. So for me, Arsenal Football Club are showing intent. They're showing seriousness, which matters. We will see if they sign more players or if they like which position they sign in as well is what I think is important. For me, I think the steal of the window for them is Timber, because he's the guy that kind of changes where it went wrong for Arsenal this season. And with Declan Rice's perspective, I think he's just unbelievable. He's an unbelievable signing. British record transfer fee, If 10 years ago I met Terry and I told him 100 million for a DM, he would have laughed in my face. Now, here we are. 100 million, 105 million 10 years ago. This is 2023 right now. 10 years ago, just 6 months before the summer, Fernando Torres moved to Chelsea for 50 million. And that's Fernando Torres. So when I say Fernando Torres, you're talking about Harry Kane, essentially level player, moving for 50 million. So that's like, just so you can understand the levels. So 105 million for a DM, this transfer market is going mad. It's going mad.
The transfers have changed, the money has changed, there's no doubt. I think on Urian Timber, I think he's a phenomenal piece of business for Arsenal. I really, really do. I rate him highly. He's a great technician. He's versatile. He's got good speed. He's got youth on his side. And I think the deal's done. I think the deal's already done. I think they're waiting. Could be waiting until after today because a lot of clubs, their end of year accounting is the end of June. So from an FFP point of view, that it won't impact them for maybe 3 years. It depends when they file their FFP accounts, because that's once every 3 years. Chelsea's ends today. I think Man United's ends today as well. And then from tomorrow, you essentially have 3 years to fix up if you overspend in year one, if that makes sense. So I think you'll see a lot of business start to kick in from tomorrow. That's a great bit of business. I agree with everything you said about Rice. He is transformative. He'll be their captain. And a lot of Gooners don't like hearing that because they love Odegaard. I'm not even saying it as an insult. It's if you had a good free kick taker at your team, but you signed James Ward-Prowse, Prowse will become your free kick taker. Just because,
Easily.
because he's better. If you have Declan Rice join this Arsenal team, I can't think of a team in the top 6 who has a better captain than Declan Rice. Off the top of my head, Gundogan has just left City, so they don't. Man United's captain, listen, I'd have Bruno as our captain over, I'd have Rice is our captain over Bruno any day of the week. I know that Maguire is officially our captain, but I see Bruno as my captain. Henderson is a very good captain, but he's aging out now. He needs to be moved on. Declan Rice is that good. The Kai Havertz still, I'm not going to lie, I'm the same as you. Well, I'm not as harsh as you. I don't think he's definitely going to flop. Him like Mason Mount and Man United, I find so intriguing. I find it's almost like what's going to happen here? How is this going to work out? How is this going to look? Midfield is what Arteta responds.
Can him and Odegaard coexist? That's the $1 million question.
I don't know. I don't know if they can, and I get why people are challenging that. But that's what I'm intrigued about. It's almost this. Nobody saw Mason Mount going to Man United. Nobody saw at all Kai Havertz going to Arsenal. If 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, you'd have made those predictions, you'd have been laughed out.
Thank you.
You would have been laughed at. That doesn't mean that you can't look for reasons as to why it works. I've been sitting there watching compilations. I've been on Y Scout, studying Mason Mount, what he's good at, what he's bad at, how I think it's going to work. I haven't really worked it out yet, but that isn't really my job. You know, no fan. Some are tacticos and they break down tactics really detailed. All they're really doing when they do that is reading something a genuine coach has said, and they're plagiarizing it and they're looking for examples. They don't really know it and understand it. How I know that is they couldn't. Most of them can't go into a room and teach that to kids or to grown-ups on how to play. Some are qualified coaches, so they're good at it. But if you were that good at breaking down tactics and formations and coaching, you wouldn't be on YouTube talking about it. You would be a goddamn coach. So, and I don't even mean that as a dig. Like I've done tactical breakdowns, but I do it as from a fan's point of view. I don't try to act smarter than the next person because I'm not. Like I said earlier, Banana plays a ball that breaks lines and flows into the midfield. And we've got loads of space in front of us to run into. I don't even know what you call that kind of attack. For me, it's just like a direct move. I don't know if it's got a name. A tactical would know the exact name of it, so he sounds more knowledgeable. But we both know the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just we both know the same shit. I just don't know what it's called. No, I'm being serious. I don't know what it's called. I don't even care what it's called. But
oh my god! It's like when you say offensive transition for counter attack, defensive transition, defending counter attack, ball progression for a forward pass, ball carrying for dribbling. It's just fancy names, man.
Someone said to me, "We need a person who progresses the ball well." I was like, "Can you break that down?" I think it may have been Einstein that said this. If somebody can't explain something in simple terms, they don't understand it. And what people do when they don't understand things is they make it sound scientific so that you go, "Oh, I'm not going to challenge him because I might look stupid." It's a very clever thing to do. But yeah, look, I think Arsenal have done some great great business. We've got a lot of super chats here on Arsenal. A lot of super chats here on Arsenal. The first one says.